is another week somehow, and I think this week I'm planning on going out to the charity shops again, have a little browse. I kind of want to see if there was any clothes that I liked, and then there's also a yarn shop down there and I want to get some new yarn to make another cardigan, so I thought I'd take you along with me. It is once again raining, so I've got my raincoat on, I've got my hat, and let's go. From being out in the rain, I'm snuggled up with my cat and a cup of tea, but I have secured my yarn and hopefully I can get started on a cardigan soon. Okay, I realise it has been a hot minute since I've actually sat down and filmed something. I have been working pretty much at my job and I had some overtime to cover sickness, so yeah, I think the last time I filmed was kind of going to charity shops and picking up stuff, and I have so much book chat to talk to you about. I've finished quite a few books and I have also collected a lot more books, so I think we will start with House of Flame and Shadow because I did finish it and I really loved it. For those of you who don't know, it's the final book in the Crescent City series, or is it the final book? And it was really good. I loved the ending, I thought it made sense. I don't really understand why so many people didn't like it. If you didn't like it, please comment down below and tell me why, because I don't understand why. I would have really loved to have seen more of Rune and Lydia's relationship, but I know that they weren't the focus of the book. But yeah, it was fast paced, there was good action, there was just so many different plot twists. It's not like the last 200 pages of a Sarah J Maas book, the whole book was like that. So I really liked it, and yeah, I recommend that whole series to anyone really. And then next up I finished Fortuna Swan, and I really liked this as well. This was kind of like ACOTAR, to be honest, so after a Sarah J Maas book this was good to read. It's just kind of like an urban fantasy almost. It's set in a sort of modern day, but humans don't realise that kind of fae and angels and werewolves and everything actually exist. And Fortuna Swan is basically a nightmare, that is what her power is, and she ends up marrying a fairy king and trying to find her brother, and yeah, it follows the adventure that happens there, and she finds things out about herself and the world that she lives in. So yeah, I enjoyed this. This is a part of a series. I can't remember how many books it is, but I think I'll definitely be getting the next one. I just have to get through my pile of books next, I think. So yeah, I recommend it. So next I actually got into manga, and I have finished a couple mangas now. The first one was Cat and Gamer Volume 1. I really enjoyed this. This is just like a cute, wholesome manga. Let me see if there's any cute little pictures of the cat, because I just was obsessed with it. Look at that little baby! Ah! I loved it so much that I did pick up the second one, and I will be reading that very soon. It's just about a office worker who adopts a stray kitten that's found in her car park at work, and she takes the cat home and she doesn't really have any idea how to raise a cat. So she is an avid gamer herself, and she basically looks at the cat it's she needs to level it up in gaming terms. So it's just really cute and wholesome and funny and nice to read at bedtime when you just want to shut your brain off. The next manga that I read was The Ancient Magus Bride, Volume 1, so I definitely think I'll be getting the next one. This was really cool. She's basically got this magical ability, and she gets auctioned off in a market, and this guy here, he's a magus, and he basically buys her, and he teaches her a lot about who she is, and he basically wants her to be an apprentice and trained to be a mage, and it kind of follows some little adventures they have to go and visit various people. She visits like this woman who makes like magical weapons almost, and then they go and visit a dragon, and they also go visit this like cat lord, and yeah, if there's cats, you know me, I like it. So yeah, I recommend this one. And then I think you saw I picked up Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Lani Taylor in the charity shop, and I have finished it. Another really good story. I'm getting a lot of 5-star reads recently, which is great. This follows Karu, and she is raised by chimera, so like devils, demons, whatever you want to call them, and it is set in Prague, but she goes through these doors to like be in the demon realm almost, and she sort of runs errands for this man called Brimstone. Well, he's a chimera, not a man, and she has to kind of like collect teeth or collect like elephant tusks. So it follows her, and then we get introduced to Akiva, who is an angel, and that's how the story goes. I won't give too much away, but I really enjoyed this. I can't wait to read the rest of the books. So I'll just go over what I'm currently reading, and I am reading Shady Hollow by Janu Black. It's actually 2 authors that have written this, but this is just such a cute like cozy crime. I forgot that I like crime books because I've been reading so much fantasy, but it's basically the grumpy toad turns up dead, and Vera Vixen the fox has to, well, she's a journalist, and she kind of takes it upon herself to solve the mystery of his death. And there are many really cute characters, like the police officer is a big bear, the guy that runs the coffee shop, he is a moose, Vera's best friend is a raven, and she owns a bookstore. It's just such a vibe, and I really love it. And I think there are 2 other books in the kind of Shady Hollow series, so I think I will have to pick them up. Oh no. But yeah, I really love that. And then the manga I'm currently on is Fruits Basket Volume 1, and yeah, this is a cool one as well. This is basically follows the female character who, her mum has died basically, and she pitches up a tent to live in because she hasn't got any family to stay with, and it ends up being on the land of these guys who, they can't be touched by humans because they turn into animals. They're basically possessed by the Chinese zodiac animal spirits. So yeah, it just follows that, and I'm only like this far into it, so I haven't finished it yet, but I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, I love to read a manga just before bed. It's kind of just easy for me to process, and yeah, I enjoy it. Okay, we've now got to somehow go through my giant wad of books that I have somehow accumulated. I say I don't know how this happened. Obviously I had to spend my money to get it. Actually though, one of them I did get for free because it was a proof copy. But yeah, without further ado, did I pick this up because of the cover? Yes, 80% of me did. It's Dalagat Dream Department Store. This is such a crazy looking book, and I thought this just looked fun to read. It's basically based on this woman who works in a department store for dreams. So when people go to bed at night, they go to the department store and they pick out the dream. And yeah, I think it's meant to be just kind of funny and silly, and this is just something that I thought sounded like a vibe to read. So I'm excited to read it eventually. Next up is a sci-fi book which actually sounded really interesting to me, and that is In Ascension by Martin McManus. McInnes. And this follows Lei, and she is she's a scientist basically. She studies biology and different organisms, and there's a new trench that is discovered in the Atlantic Ocean, and when they start researching on it, there is just, it brings to mind everything that we know is changed, and it kind of leads her to then start working for a space agency. And I just thought that this sounded really mysterious and interesting. I love a good sci-fi that really questions humanity and why are we here? Are we alone? And yeah, like I said, this just sounded really fun and I can't wait to read it. I next have a couple cozy fantasy books, I'd say, and the first is A Far Wilder Magic by Alison Saft. I've heard this spoken about quite a lot on the internet, but it's in like a gothic town and it follows Maggie, who lives alone in a manor, and she spots this like fox creature, and it's basically a hunt that they have to do for this fox. I think it's like a legendary creature, and she's known as like the best sharpshooter in town, but she needs the help of like an alchemist to help her win it. And I think it just kind of follows them falling in love as they have to hunt this fox, and it sounded cute. I think it's got, you know, quite a bit of like nature magic in it, and if you know me, you know I love a good cozy fantasy. The next cozy fantasy that I picked up was The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic by Brienne Randall, and this is a novel of love and loss and grief. It follows Sadie, who is kind of cursed to have heartbreaks, like 4 heartbreaks, and she has had 3 of them already, but now her grandmother is ill. She's looking after her grandmother. Someone comes back into her life, an ex who caused one of her heartbreaks, and she has to kind of deal with love and loss and thinking what is right for her. But I just thought this sounded really cute and cozy, and it's a nice light read. I say light, it's got grief in it, so it's not a light read, but it's a small read. It's not like a big hefty fantasy, so I thought this sounded interesting and I'm excited to read it eventually. The next book is A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett Sinclair. I have been wanting to read this series for so long. It is a Hades and Persephone retelling, enemies to lovers, romance. I think it's quite spicy and it just sounds really fun, and I can't wait to read this one. I love anything that has like Greek gods in it. I blame my reading Percy Jackson as a kid for that, because I cannot get over anything that has Greek gods in it. The next books I have are hardback books actually, so a couple new releases, but I think this is the oldest of them all, and it's Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I finally picked it up, guys. It's been very hyped about on the internet. If you don't know about it, where have you been? But yeah, it follows 2 rivals basically. They're competing for a position as like journalists, and they kind of write letters, and these letters, you know, they read each other's letters, and it's just an enemies to lovers, and it just sounds really cute. There's like architecture, so there's a little bit dark academia I think as well. But yeah, like I said, I don't need to say too much about this. It's very popularised. Publicised, that's the word. Yeah, I'm excited to read this, and I've not read any of Rebecca Ross's other work, but I've heard good things about it. Next I have another book that has been very hyped up, and I've had so many customers asking about it for me, to me at work, so I was like, I have to pick this up, and that is The Crimson Moth by Kristen Sorelli. And this is basically just a witch and a witch hunter that fall in love. It's enemies to lovers, it's got witches in it. I don't need to say any more, you just know I'm gonna like it. Next up is a book I have been eyeing up for a while, and that is A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. This sounds so good. It's Norse mythology based, which, you know, I haven't found much Norse mythology based books, so I'm really excited to read this because that's definitely up my alley. If you don't know, I go to a lot of like Viking like storytelling things. It's in like this Viking roundhouse and there's fires, and I always go there quite a lot, so I definitely kind of love the idea of like Norse mythology. But basically this follows Freya, who is in a really unhappy marriage. It's a Norse inspired fantasy romance first of all, and she basically has a drop of goddess blood in her, which makes her a shield maiden, and she has magic that's capable of like repelling any attack. And I think she starts falling in love with someone that she shouldn't fall in love with, or forbidden I should say. I think it is her husband's son, I'm assuming from another marriage, I don't know. But yeah, she's in an unhappy marriage and she falls in love with someone else, pretty much. and it's Norse mythology. I don't need to explain anymore. Doesn't it just look like a vibe from the cover? Like, I want to be her. She looks cool. Anyway, I should get to the last book, which is really exciting. I got a proof copy. Well, I say a proof copy. It's actually the full book. But I did get, finally, The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo, and I made another vlog reading this book. I'm not sure, but I'm super excited to read it. I've not actually read any other of Leigh's work, even though I know of them very much. I know, you know, like Six of Crows, Shadow and Bone is super popular, and I know the stories. I just haven't read them for some reason because I'm late to the game. But yeah, The Familiar sounds really fun. It's basically based on Lucia, who uses like magic to get through her day. She's just trying to get by basically, but you know, she has to enlist the help of a immortal familiar to get her to where she wants to be, and it's, you know, set in Spain's golden age, and it just sounds really different to anything else I read before. I think some of it is like based on Leigh's actual family, either like family history or hereditary, so that's really cool. Yeah, the cover does not just look like gothic and vibey. I can't wait to read it. Yeah, like I said, hopefully I will finish it up in a vlog maybe. And once again, I also apologise for the delay of this video. I have been working and been busy just trying to adjust to life and its changes, but like I said, lots of books, lots of exciting things on the way. And once again, thank you for subscribing to my channel, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe, and don't forget to like it and comment down below for what books you're excited for me to read and any other books that you think I would enjoy. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!